CBS News contributor and editor-in-chief of Wired, Nick Thompson, is with me now. Nick, good to see you once again.
Good to see you.
A lot to talk about. Let's start with, I know, oh my gosh, that's right. Let's start with Travis Kalanick.
Yeah.
So the CEO of Uber is apologizing again, this time, though, for his own actions. He says he's ashamed for the way that he behaved in this dash cam video. Let's go ahead and play that.
Keep changing every day. You keep changing.
Hold on a
every
second.
day.
What have I changed about black?
Huh?
What
you
have I
changed
changed?
the whole business.
What?
You dropped the prices.
On black?
Yes, you did. With $20. With $20.
You know what?
How much is the mile now? $2.75?
You know what?
What?
Some people don't like to take responsibility for
I
their
take
own shit.
responsibility.
They blame everything
But
in
why
their
you
life on
sending
somebody
an email
else.
for town card?
Good luck.
All right, so we know that after that went viral,
Yeah.
he sent out a memo apologizing for his behavior, and it was really striking to me, the language that he used in that memo, and basically saying, I need to grow up, really kind of condemning himself. But what do you think the effect is going to be for Uber's business here? I mean, this is not the first incident, obviously, that there's been for Travis Kalanick.
I mean, what's interesting about it is that people have complained about Travis Kalanick's broism since the very beginning, and it hasn't had a discernible effect on their business. Their business has done extremely well. What's interesting to watch right now, though, is that we might have kind of a tsunami or an overflowing of problems right now for Uber. There was an Uber engineer who wrote just a devastating letter, a female engineer, about the culture of sexual harassment in that company. So Travis Kalanick's behavior in the cab, coming on top of that, coming after a long history of similar problems for the company and for the CEO, could be a big issue.
So there have also been sexual harassment claims, not just at Uber, but Tesla also. Is
Yeah.
there some sort of tipping point, you think, happening here with these claims in Silicon Valley?
Yeah, I think there's a cultural change happening in Silicon Valley, right? So Silicon Valley has a big structural problem. It's a very male-dominated place, and it's a place where a lot of people get rich very quickly, and they behave poorly, as sometimes happens when people's economic circumstances change like that. And unfortunately, this has been going on for a long time. Fortunately, though, people are now getting called out on that. So I think you may see lots of stories and eventually some serious change.
All right, let's switch gears now, talk about Snapchat. So you have this big IPO coming, right? $23.6 billion. I mean, $26.3 billion seems astronomical to some people. Interestingly, a new eMarketer study shows that it's falling further behind Instagram. So is this perhaps not the best timing here?
Well, no, I think Snapchat has the best timing you could possibly have. I mean, they're announcing their IPO right after like record booms in the market. This is why the company's price has been so high. Is Snapchat a viable long-term business model? I don't know. Like, they've kind of got advertising sort of worked out a little bit, and that's why it's so high. But there are some real threats to that business. And if you look at Snapchat's growth, and you look at when Instagram started its competitive product, you see that Snapchat's growth immediately starts to taper off when Instagram launches that. So there is a real existential threat. On the other hand, people who love Snapchat really love Snapchat. They have run the business pretty well, particularly for a social media company in Silicon Valley, where usually you kind of ignore the business until too late, i.e. Twitter. So they've done a much better job of that, and that is being reflected in the market's very positive reaction.
They've got younger users, so that's a huge
They have the younger
asset, right?
users that everybody wants to reach. I mean, the hard part for Snapchat is they have no one over the age of 30, right? Because no one over 30 can figure out how the darn thing works.
I figured it out once. I actually deleted
Exactly.
it. All right, but let's talk about the culture. It's interesting because the Snapchat offices, the offices of Snap, the parent company, are different, right? They're not actually centralized. It's not this open office space concept like you have at these other tech firms. So what do you think that means? Is that significant at all? Is that perhaps something that will help or hurt the company in the long run?
I mean, it certainly seems to be helping. People really like working at Snapchat. You don't hear the same kind of crazy concerns about Snapchat that you do hear about all the other places. That might be because people know they're about to get extremely rich if they've worked there for a little while, so they're, tempering down their concerns. But I think Snapchat has actually done a very smart job in how they organize, who they hire, how they structure it, how they build out their products. I have a lot of concerns about their hardware product. I don't know whether they should really be selling, glasses, but who knows?
Yeah.
But it's been a well-run company that is getting success that I guess it deserves. And it is important. It is the only social media challenger to the Facebook ecosystem. Remember, every other big social media company is either Facebook or is owned by Facebook, right? They bought Instagram, they bought WhatsApp. All the other competitors have fallen by the wayside. So if you want a competitive social media ecosystem, which for the health of the internet and all kinds of times of communication, you should want, it's pretty good that Snapchat is thriving.
Yeah, no, that's a really interesting point. Fascinating to see what's going to happen with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Nick Thompson, so good to have you with us again.
Delighted to be here.